As we are now in Chodesh Kisleiv and Chanukah is upon us, it's not unusual to find various connections between the Parsha HaShavua and the many themes of Chanukah. I think there are many connections that one might observe, and among them is one of the most famous pieces in Rav Chaim Shmulevitz's Sichos Mussar, in Parshas Vayeshev. He talks about the nace of the Pach Shemen, the jar of oil that was found, and the story of Yosef HaTzadik. He asks two basic questions. Question number one is, what is the significance of the Pach Shemen, the miracle of the finding of the oil? We know that, for halachic reasons, it wasn't absolutely necessary that they used this particular jar of oil. The special advantage and special quality of this oil was that it was pure. And it's obviously much more appropriate halachically to use that oil. But as Chazal point out, there's a famous rule that tumah hutra b'tzibur, that really under these circumstances they could have used the impure oil, of which they had many jars. And so why is it so important that we had this particular miracle that, we were able to use the jar of nice oil that was pure? That's one question. The other question Rav Chaim Shmulevitz asks is, we're told that when Yosef was sold to Egypt, as he's traveling in the Ishmael caravan on the way down, so the Chumash goes out of its way to describe the different spices and perfumes that were in the caravan. And Rashi, in the name of the Midrash, points out that there were beautiful smelling materials that were in this caravan, and this was unusual, because normally in these merchant caravans you'll find not so nice smelling things. And why was the circumstance different right here? Because Hashem did not want a tzaddik to smell something that was not nice, and he shouldn't be uncomfortable. Now the question here is obvious. Yosef was at the lowest point of his life. He was on his way down to the greatest gullus, and he has just been ejected from his family, separated from his father, and right now we're being told that Hashem is concerned about the smell for Yosef, that it should smell nice, and this would be Hashem's big break for Yosef, that it doesn't smell so bad. And the answer, explains Rav Chaim Shmulevitz, a very important answer, is that for both of these questions, the idea is the divine kiss. That what? That even when things seem like they're at their darkest moments and we don't understand why things are happening the way they are, sometimes even then we could find the Yad Hashem, we could find Hashem trying to do things to make things better for us, that Hashem is still there even when we are in Galus. True, tumah hutra b'tzibur, and true, there were many casualties in the war against the Syrian Greek Hellenists, and it was a very low point. But Hashem says, I'm going to give you the purest jar of oil that you can use and do a miracle through that jar of oil. And similarly for Yosef, even as Yosef was on his way down to his darkest gullus, but Hashem said, you know what? Even where you are right now, I'm letting you know that as you go into gullus, I'm going in with you, and I am not going to leave you there by yourself. The nice smelling perfume was just a reminder that I'm still with you. It was a divine kiss. It was a kiss that says that I know that things look dark, but I am still here. And I think that where we are in our gullus, where we are in this tekufa in the world, we feel the gullus, and we shouldn't be numb to the gullus. We should recognize that gullus. But more importantly, even in the darkness of gullus, we have to recognize that Hashem is there. Recognize and point out and be thankful for those little miracles here and there, those miracles of Hashgacha Pratis, where we receive that divine kiss, where we recognize that Hashem is still there, where when everything else is going wrong, but we see one little thing that went absolutely perfectly, one little placement of the divine signature that just reminded us that even when everything else didn't look good, but you know what, this reminded me that Hashem is there. We have the opportunity to feel Hashem's kiss in the month of Kisleiv.